Welcome on into the beautiful poker room. Grab yourself a drink and perch yourself up on the rail as we talk some Wingman Poker. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome on into this edition of Wingman Poker Presents On the Rail. I am your host, Michael Furley, and I would like to thank all of you for watching this show. And in this show, we will be going over the tournament number 3 of the 2024 season. So pour yourself a drink, grab a snack, nestle in, and join me on the rail. All right, Railbirds, first off, I would like to apologize for the long break between shows. As you may or may not know, but this is a hobby project for me right now, and sometimes it will just have to take a back seat in terms of other life priorities. But the studio is all set up, and my goal is to pump out these shows about once a week until we get all caught up early in July. So go ahead, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you will be alerted when the next show gets posted. And just like the last show of On the Rail, this recap of tournament number 3 of the 2024 Wingman Poker League season will be split into multiple parts. All right, so it's time to recap part 1 of the tournament number 3. And in this tournament, we had a very full house. We had 15 players, and all 15 players did our SVP, earning themselves a $250 chip bonus. And we had 2 new players join our tables this time around as Gary K, a.k.a. the Margarita Man, and Tom Sr., a.k.a. American Dad, made their Wingman Poker debuts at this last tournament. And we also had a very pleasant surprise as a very good friend and out-of-towner, Nikki B, a.k.a. Waddle Away, also joined us on the table at the tables as he was visiting for the weekend. So as always, we started out with $1,500 in chips, but all those who did RSVP did get a staggered bonus of $250 in chips. And Patty K and Thomas S earned an additional $250 chip bonus for bringing in the new recruits, the aforementioned Gary K and Tom Sr. And I owed Thomas S, a.k.a. Optimus, an additional $250 chip bonus to rectify a side pot error that I made several tournaments in the past. This was the first time he's shown up since then, so I wanted to make it up to him as we cheated him out a few chips in a side pot. But now we are even, and here we go. All right, so with all the buy-ins and add-ons, of course, before any rebuys, the initial chips that were sloshing around the tournament was 27,000 in chips. And with 15 players, we had 3 payouts. So first place would take home $150. Second place would take home $90. And third place would take home $60. Of course, those prizes could increase pending the number of rebuys. Also, I want to remind you that we do take $1 out of all of our buy-ins and rebuys and put that towards the Bad Beat Jackpot. So in the Bad Beat Jackpot, we left tournament number 2 with a $60 bank for the Bad Beat Jackpot. And with 15 players joining in on table 3, our Bad Beat Jackpot was up to $75 before the cards even hit the felt. All right, guys. So for those poker addicts, it is now time to finally watch some of these poker's hands. I've highlighted approximately 15 hands from the early part of the last tournament for your viewing and scouting pleasure. So, okay, enough of the rambling. Let's get into some of the poker. All right, let's look at our player lineups for this past tournament. In Table A, in Seat 1, we have Patty K, a.k.a. Patty DeVille. In Seat 2, we have Thomas S, a.k.a. Optimus. In Seat 3, we have Scorpion Queen, Alicia M. In Seat 4, we have Nikki B, a.k.a. Waddle Away. In Seat 5, one of our new players to the tournament, we have Gary K, the Margarita Man. In Seat 6, we have Scott H, Mr. 300. In Seat 7, we have Stephen S, the Doomslayer. And another one of our new players in Seat 8 is Tom Sr., American Dad. Taking a look at our players that are on Table B to start off Tournament 3. In Seat 1, we have Chris M, the Scorpion King. In Seat 2, we have Jurassic Jordan. In Seat 3, we have The Flash. That's Christy H. In Seat 4, we have Gerhard W., the Austrian Assassin. In seat number 5, we have Reggie O, a.k.a. Lion-O. In seat 6, the winner of our last tournament, tournament number 2, that is Michael F., a.k.a. Amazing Spidey. And in seat 7, we have Diane W., the mother of dragons. Let's get ready to shuffle. Shuffle up and deal. All right, we're starting over on table B tonight. The blinds are 25-50. The dealer's Jurassic Jordan on the left end of the table. So our small blind is the Flash Christy H. Big blind is the Austrian Assassin. And first to act will be Reggie O. Got a fold from Lionel over to Amazing Spidey. He looks down at a suited Queen 8 of spades. He makes the call just off screen. We have a fold from the Mother of Dragons. A call from the Scorpion King. We have a fold from the dealer, Jurassic Jordan. And our small blind also folds. So the flash is out and the big blind checks. So we have 3 players going to the flop. Pot is up to 175. The flop is just off the screen on the left side. So we'll have our indicators let us know what we got. And the flop is Queen of Diamonds, 2 of Spades, Queen of Hearts.
No, sorry.
We have a bet of 100 from the Austrian Assassin, who hits top pair of Kings, over to Amazing Spidey, who hits his top card of a pair of Queens. He also makes the call, as does the Scorpion King. So we have 3 players going to the turn. The turn comes out 8 of clubs. Amazing Spidey gets 2 pair Queens and 8s. Pot is up to 475. We have a check from the Austrian Assassin. A bet from Amazing Spidey at 250. Then we have a call from the Scorpion King, and then it's over to the Austrian Assassin. It'll be 250 to make the call, as he has top pair. He does make the call, so our pot is up to 1325. Here comes the river, 6 of spades. Oh, the Austrian Assassin gets 2 pair Kings and 6s. And he's going to lead out with a bet of 300. Amazing Spidey is going to make the quick call with his 2 pair of Queens and 8s. We have a fold from the Scorpion King. They're going to have to flip over these cards. Oh, the Austrian Assassin shows that he rivers the 2 pair to beat the established 2 pair of Amazing Spidey. Gerhardt, the Austrian Assassin, is letting Amazing Spidey know that he got lucky last tournament, and that's how the cards go. So eat that one, Amazing Spidey. The Austrian Assassin gets a nice pot of 1925 to start out this tournament. Now we take a nice look over here at table A for the first time. Our dealer is in the top right of the board. That is the Margarita Man. So small blind is Mr. 300. Big blind is the Doomslayer. And first to act will be American Dad, who looks down at a 10-8 offsuit, 10 of spades, 8 of diamonds. It'll be 50 for him to make the call if he so chooses. So the actions to American Dad, who does make the call over to Patty DeVille, who folds, as does Optimus. And so does the Scorpion Queen. She folds as well. Now it's over to Waddle Away, who's looking down at an ace, 5 of clubs. So he's got a suited ace of clubs. He makes the call over to the dealer, the Margarita Man. He folds. Our small blind will then fill it up, and our big blind looks like he's going to check. Yeah, so he checks it. So we have 200 in the pot. 4 players going to the flop. The flop comes out Queen, 10, 9, Queen of clubs, 10 of clubs, 9 of hearts. The Waddle Away has the nut flush draw. However, the American Dad has middle pair of a pair of 10s. First to act will be American Dad. And then it checks it all the way around. So the next card is a 6 of hearts. We still have a strong flush draw for Waddle Away and a middle pair for American Dad. First to act is American Dad. They check it around to Waddle Away, who bets 100. So we get a fold from both Mr. 300 and the Doomslayer, and a call from American Dad. So we have 2 players going to the river. Here comes the river, a 2 of clubs, giving Waddle Away the nut flush draw. He has an ace high flush. American Dad still has second pair of 10s. We have a check here from American Dad, I think, or it's on American Dad. He does check. A bet of 150 from Waddle away. And we are going to get the call from American Dad, so the pot's up to 700. Nicky B, a.k.a. Waddle away, shows the nut flush draw, the ace-high flush of clubs, and he takes this one down. A pot of 700 early on the table A. Nice job by Waddle away for sitting tight and catching the flush. Now we are back over to table B. Our blinds are still at 25 and 50. Our dealer is on the bottom left. That is a Scorpion King. Small blind, Jurassic Jordan. Big blind is the flash. First to act is the Austrian Assassin, who makes the call. Then we have a fold from Lino, a fold from Amazing Spidey. Now we're down to the Mother of Dragons on the bottom of the table. And she looks down at a King 10 offsuit. She makes the call. And the Scorpion King has pocket queens. And he's not going to let him go for free as he raises to 350. The pot's now at 525. We have a fold from both Jurassic Jordan and the Flash, and Gerhardt, the Austrian Assassin, also fold. So now it's over to the Mother of Dragons. She does make the call. Our pot's up to 825. She does have an overcard. The ace comes out. Ace of clubs, 3 of clubs, 7 of spades. Pair of queens is looking good, but he's got to be afraid of the ace. And first to act here will be the Mother of Dragons. She's got a backdoor straight draw. She has a high card, but she missed the board otherwise. She does check, as does the Scorpion King. The low card comes out. We have another quick check from the Mother of Dragons. So now we have a bet of 300 with the pair of queens from the Scorpion King. He needs to know right now if she has the ace. She did check twice, though. So she's either slow playing or she is weak. She makes the call. 8 of hearts. There's no straight draws, no flush draws. She leads out, going all in for 525. The Mother of Dragons is all in. And we get a quick call. The pot's of 24-25. He has to dodge the ace. She shows that she does not have it. The Scorpion King stings the Mother of Dragons as she will have to fly off to the ATM, and she'll have to rebuy to stay alive. A huge pot for the Scorpion King, 24-25. We move back over to table A. Our dealer on this one is American Dad on the bottom right. Small blind is Patty DeVille. Big blind is Optimus. First to act will be the Scorpion Queen. The blinds are still at 25-50. So the action is to the Scorpion Queen, Alicia M. on the top left corner. She has an ace 9 offsuit, ace of spades, 9 of clubs. So she calls, she limps in with 50. We have a fold from Waddle away, a fold from the Margarita Man, a fold from Mr. 300. We have a fold from the Doomslayer, and it's over to American Dad looking down at King, Queen offsuit, King of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts. He raises it to 100, so it'll be more to play. So our small blind folds over to the big blind Optimus. There'll be 50 more to call for him. So we have a call from both Optimus and the Scorpion Queen. So we have 3 players. The pot's at 325. Here comes the flop. The flop is a 7 of spades, ace of clubs, and an 8 of spades. So we have a spade draw out there. The Scorpion Queen hits her top pair of aces. We have a backdoor straight draw for American Dad. First to act will be Optimus. Optimus checks. Then we have a bet from the Scorpion Queen for 150. We have a call from American Dad for 150 back to Optimus. He makes the call as well. So we have 3 players going to the turn. Our pot is up to 775. 10 of spades. So now we have a nice flush spade draw for the Scorpion Queen. And we have a straight draw for American Dad here. First to act will be Optimus. We have a check from Optimus. We have a bet of 400 from Alicia M, who's got top pair and a top flush draw. We have a call from American Dad, who's got a straight draw. Here comes the river. The Jack of Spades comes out, giving American Dad an ace high straight. However, the Scorpion Queen went from top pair to top flush as she gets an ace high flush. Our pot is up to 1575. She's going to go all in for about $900, putting it at $24.75. Then we have a quick call. He is less than that bet, so he is all in at about $300. $21.75 is the total pot. They flip over the cards. American Dad shows his ace high straight. However, the ace high flush of spades is going to take this one. There must be a conspiracy for American Dad as he busts out with an ace high straight. However, Tom Sr., if he wants to stay and play, he'll have to go to the ATM and rebuy to stay alive. Oh, wow, what a hand. That's such an unfortunate hand for American Dad. If that was just a different colored jack, he would have had this one, but the spade takes this one down. All right, we stay here at table A. The blinds are up. Let me just pause this real quick. So we did have a rebuy over here from American Dad. So he is still on the bottom right side, but he has a secondary bounty disc of the Heart Diamond Yin Yang. So he is still in this game. We have 8 players still at the table. The blinds are up to 50, 100. Our dealer is Optimus. Small blind will be the Scorpion Queen on the top left. Big blind is Waddle Away on the top left. The Scorpion Queen's top left corner. Waddle Away's on the top left. First to act will be the Margarita Man. And we will fold from the Margarita Man over to Mr. 300. He makes the call, as does the Doomslayer, and so does American Dad, who's looking down at an ace-queen offsuit. He has an ace of clubs, queen of hearts. Patty DeVille also makes the call with a jack of spade, and we did not get visibility into her second card, so we're just going to play with what we know. She has a jack of spades, and we have a suited connector, 9, 10 of diamonds for Optimus, so he too makes the call. Scorpion Queen fills up the small blind, and we have a check from the big blind, so we have 7 players going to the flop here, and we have a pot of 700. The flop comes out 8 of hearts, jack of clubs, ace of hearts. So we have a pair of aces for American Dad, a pair of jacks for Patty DeVille, and we have a straight draw, 8, 9, 10, jack, an open-ended straight draw for Optimus. First to act will be the Scorpion Queen on the top left corner. We have a check from Waddle Away, check from Mr. 300, check from the Doomslayer. Over to American Dad. He also checks. It checks all the way around. Here comes the turn. 5 of diamonds. This does not help any of our players as he still has an open-ended straight draw. Does Optimus, and the pair of aces is still in charge here at the moment. First to act will be Alicia M, the Scorpion Queen, in the top left corner. She's going to bet 200. Waddle Away folds over to Mr. 300, who makes the call as well. A fold from the Doomslayer, a call from American Dad, call from Patty DeVille, and a call from Optimus. So we have got 5 players going to the river. Our pot's up to 1,700. A 2 of spades comes out, so no one hits the straight draw. The pair of aces is good at the moment. We don't have visibility to all the cards. The jack is second pair, so we're going to see what we got here. First act will be Alicia M. And this one checks all the way up. We have a check to American Dad. It checks all the way around. They show their cards. The pair of aces is strong, takes this one down. So American Dad did have to rebuy last hand, but the first hand after the rebuy, he takes a nice pot of 1,700. All right, let me just pause it real quick here. So we had a rebuy from the Mother of Dragons on the bottom right side, who is dealing right now. And as is tradition, the first player who needs the rebuy comes back with the Donkey Bounty Disc. So that is still the Mother of Dragons on the bottom right, but she now has the Donkey Bounty Disc. She is dealing. The blinds are up to 50 and 100 on this table. So small blind is the Scorpion King. Big blind, Jurassic Jordan. First to act will be the Flash. Flash folds over to the Austrian Assassin, who has Jack 10. Offsuit, he makes the call over to Lion-O. Looks like Lion-O makes the call. It's hard to see behind his cards. And then it's over to Amazing Spidey, who has an Ace-6 suited. And he raises to 300. So we have a fold from the Mother of Dragons, a fold from the small blind of the Scorpion King, a fold from the big blind, Jurassic Jordan, over to the Austrian Assassin on the top right. It'll be 200 more to make the call. He does so. Pots up to 850 over to Lion-O, who also makes the call. So we have a pot of 1050. Here comes the flop. King of diamonds, 10 of hearts, 2 of spades. So we have a pair of 10s for the Austrian Assassin. High card of ace for the Amazing Spidey. He does have a backdoor straight draw, but at the moment he is behind. First to act will be the Austrian Assassin, and it looked like he checked.
This is the acoustic station? Yeah, I love it.
Looks like it checks to Amazing Spidey, who then bets 250. I'm looking at this wrong. So we have a bet of 250 from Gerhardt, pardon me. It's over to Lion-O. He folds over to Amazing Spidey. He bets 250 and he is all in. The flop comes out as a 3 of diamonds. That gives Amazing Spidey a chance for the flush draw here. But he has an ace-high flush draw, but we have a pair of 10s for the Austrian Assassin. Here comes the river. 2 of diamonds. Oh, he gets the ace-high straight draw at the end. My goodness, to stay alive. American Spidey doubles up in a true river donkey style. Oh my gosh, Amazing Spidey survives to double up, catching the river. Payback, I guess, against Gerhardt. This is back and forth between Amazing Spidey and Gerhardt, catching the river for wins. A pot of 1550 goes to Amazing Spidey, and he survives this tournament. All right, so we move back over to table A. The blinds are 50 and 100. The dealer is the Scorpion Queen on the top left corner. Small blind is Waddle Away. Big blind's the Margarita Man, and first to act will be Mr. 300, who makes the call for 100. Over the Doomslayer, looking down at an ace of diamonds, 10 of spades. And he also makes the call over to American Dad. And he makes the call over to Patty DeVille. She will fold over to Optimus, and he's going to make the call over to Waddle Away, who is our small blind. Looks like he fills it up. Oh, no, the small blind folded. I'm sorry. No, the dealer folded. Small blind filled it up. Big blind checked. I apologize. The flop comes out 5, 10, 6, 5 of hearts, 10 of clubs, 6 of hearts. First to act will be Nick's Waddle Away. Let's see what we got here. So we have a check from Waddle Away over to the Margarita Man. He 2 checks over to Mr. 300, who bets 250 over to the Doomslayer, who has a pair of 10s and top kicker. He makes the call over to American Dad, who also makes the call. We have a fold from Optimus, fold from Waddle Away, and a fold from the Margarita Man. All right, so we have 3 players going to the turn. Our pot is up to 1350. Jack of clubs comes out. So that's an overcard compared to the pair of 10s that the Doomslayer had. First actively Mr. 300 here. All right, we check around, go to the river. The ace of spades comes out. That gives the Doomslayer 2 pair aces and 10s. We have an all-in bet from Mr. 300 at 425. He is all in. I don't know what he has here. I'm thinking he's got maybe a pair of 6s. He didn't bet on the jack. He's betting on the ace. So it's over the Doomslayer. It'll be 425 to make the call. He's got top pair. There is no flush draw out there. There is a straight draw out there. Obviously, a king-queen would take a straight. He does make the call. Just didn't quite hear the bet, so he's a little short, but he does make the call. They're just going to get this pot right. So Doomslayer makes the call. Over to American Dad. Will be 425 to make the call. He folds. Our pot is the 2200. He shows that he has 2 pair, and the Mr. 300 is going to muck, and he is going to have to rebuy here as the Doomslayer shows no mercy, as Mr. 300 will have to rebuy for a second roll if he wants to pick up the spare. All right, Doomslayer takes down a nice pot of 2200. We're going to stay here at table A. Just to pause it real quick. So Mr. 300 is still in the game as he did choose to rebuy. He's in the top right corner. So his secondary bounty disc is the comedian button from the Watchman. Our dealer is American Dad. The blinds have now increased from up to 75, 150. Small blind is Patty DeVille. Big blind is Optimus. And first to act will be the Scorpion Queen. Scorpion Queen folds over to Waddle Away. Will be 150 to make the call. And he does. Over the Margarita Man. Looks down at a pair of 10s. Is he going to limp in or try and raise right here? Let's see what he does with a pair of 10s. He's just going to make the call. A fold from Mr. 300. A fold from the Doomslayer. Over to American Dad, who's looking over at pocket pairs. Pocket 7s. He makes the call. Neither of our pocket pairs raise pre-flop. We have a fold from our small blind, and our big blind's going to check, who has a king 7 offsuit, king of clubs, 7 of spades. So we have 4 players, a nice pot of 675. Here comes the flop. First card's a 7. 7 of hearts, 8 of clubs, 3 of spades. So American Dad flops a set of 7s. This is a 3rd straight tournament where we've had a pair of 7s get a set of 7s on the flop. Optimus flops middle pair of 7s with a strong kicker. And of course, we have overcards for a pocket pair of 10s. First act here is Optimus. He checks. So it's a $300 bet from Waddle Away. We have a raise of 600 from Margarita Man. So our pot's up to 1575. So it's going to be over to American Dad. He has to call 600 or he can raise. All right, I'm just going to pause this real quick. We had a little confusion, and I'm not saying I'm right or wrong here, but I would assume that if he wants to raise, he has to go to 1,200, double the previous raise. But I could see I could look at it as double the previous raise was 300. Anyway, so he puts a bet in of 900 is what we come up with. Either way, he does raise the previous hand. I'm not positive if that is the correct raise, but the intentions are all the same, so that's fine. So our pot is up to 2475 as we have a bet now, a raise up to 900 from American Dad. So it is over to Optimus. It'll be 900 for him to play. He is counting out his chips. He calls, but he is short. He is all in. He puts 175 in. So our pot's up to 2650. Then we have a fold from Waddle Away, a call from Margarita Man. So the pot's up to $29.50 with 3 players to go. We have a pair of 7s on the board, a pair of 10s, and a set of 7s. And 1 player is at risk, and that is Optimus with his pair of 7s. Here comes the turn. So right now the whole pot is $29.50. Our main pot is $13.75, and the side pot is $15.75. And I have to give much props here to Mr. 300, as he is the master of getting these side pots right. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your work there for getting these side pots and main pots correct. Well done, sir. All right, so like I said, we have a main pot of $13.75, a side pot of $15.75 between the Margarita Man and the American Dad. Okay, here comes the turn. It's a 4 of diamonds. That gives there's a straight draw out there, but it's a little too big of a gap, actually. So there's not really a strong straight draw out there. We still have a pair of 7s, set of 7s, and a pair of 10s. This has got to be looking really good for Margarita Man, as they are all undercards to his pocket pair. First to act here will be the Margarita Man into the side pot. He checks over to American Dad, who's got his set of 7s, and he's not going to let this go by for free, as he wants to isolate. He bets $250, a nice value bet, keeping me on the string. $3,200 is the total pot. So right now the side pot is $18.25. Margarita Man is thinking. He does make the call. So our total pot is $34.50. Once again, our main pot is at $13.75. Our side pot is at $20.75 for the side pot between the Margarita Man and American Dad. Here comes the river. 9 of hearts. It looks like straights are out there now. We have a 7, 8, 9. Hold on one second here. We have a 7, 8, 9, which means a 6, 10 catches a straight, or a 10 jack catches a straight. So they have to be a little bit worried here. We have a check from Margarita Man into the side pot over to American Dad, who bets again $250. Gets him for the quick call. Our pot is up to $39.50 total. Main pot $13.75. Side pot $25.75. We're going to flip over the side pot players first. The set of 7s is revealed to destroy the pocket pair of 10s. So American Dad gets a side pot of $25.75 to start with. Then we flip over the remaining cards. And American Dad gets it all. A huge pot of $39.25. Oh my gosh. So after rebuy for American Dad, he's won 2 monster pots. So we have American Dad shows the boy who's the boss, as Optimus will have to roll out to the ATM and rebuy to stay alive. Wow, huge pot for American Dad. Back over to table B. The blinds here are 75, 150 as well. Our dealer is the Austrian Assassin. Small blind is Lionel. Big blinds, Amazing Spidey. First to act is the Mother of Dragons. It'll be 150 to make the call to the Mother of Dragons. She folds over to the Scorpion King, who has a Jack 10 offsuit. He calls the 150 over to Jurassic Jordan. On the left end of the table, he 150 to make the call. He does fold over to the Flash, Christy H. They're taking their time here, letting the Amazing Spidey get back to his seat. We have a fold from the Flash, a fold from the Austrian Assassin over to Lion-O. And he folds his small blind. So we have 2 players left. The pot is at $3.75. As do we have a check from Amazing Spidey? Let me see before I go too far along here. Yes, we have a check from Amazing Spidey. He's just trying to gather himself after running around. So here comes the flop pot at $3.75. Ace of clubs, Jack of diamonds, 4 of diamonds. So Amazing Spidey flops top pair, while the Scorpion King flops a pair of jacks. This is just like our hand on the other table, where the Doomslayer had a pair of aces and Patty DeVille had a pair of jacks. Let's see how this one plays out. First to act here will be Amazing Spidey. He is counting the pot, which usually indicates he is strong and wants to make a strong bet. And he goes all in for $625. He's low stack here. I don't know if he's a short of stack, but he's got a low stack. We got a quick call from the Scorpion King. The price is just too low to get him off, and he's gonna let's see. He has a pair of jacks, so he makes the call. Our pot is up to 1625. Amazing Spidey has all of his chips in the middle of the table. They flip over the cards. The ace versus the jack. 5 of hearts on the turn. No help for the Scorpion King, who will need a 10 or a jack. It's a king, a strong card, but not the one he's looking for. The pair of aces holds on against the pair of jacks. Amazing Spidey is hanging on by a web as he's able to double up once again, and he's going to stay alive in this tournament.
I thought you were going to turn over the ace queen or something.
No, I liked what I had, and I figured the ace was the only threat for the price.
All right, so we're moving back over to table A. Our blinds are at 75, 150. Still, our dealer is now, let me just pause it here again real quick during the deal. We have Optimus. He had to rebuy, so he has his secondary bounty disc as he has gone from the light side to the dark as he is now a Decepticon. Small blind is the Scorpion Queen in the top left corner. Big blind is Waddle Away. First to act will be the Margarita Man. This time he has an ace coupled with his 10. Ace of clubs, 10 of hearts. Margarita Man is first to act. Be 150 to make the call. He does so, makes the call. We have a quick fold from Mr. 300. Over to the Doomslayer. He also folds over to American Dad, who has a king, 6 offsuit, king of diamonds, 6 of hearts. Will be 150 to play. He's got tons of chips to play with, so he makes the call. A fold from Patty DeVille over to the Decepticon Optimus over here. He folds. Our small blind. Our small blind looks like, is she gonna, did she fold? I think she's in. And a check from our big blind. Let me pause it here real quick. The flop comes out. Ace of hearts, jack of diamonds, jack of hearts. So no one hits their card. The ace high is still good, but that jack is scary. There's a backdoor heart draw for two of our players. So we have a check from the Scorpion Queen. A check from Waddle Away over to the Margarita Man. He's going to bet 300 over to American Dad. Raises to 600. Oh my gosh. Both these players missed the board, and this is the second hand in a row where we have a strong bet from the Margarita Man and a raise from American Dad. American Dad is putting a lot of pressure on the Margarita Man. Let's see how they respond. But at first, we're going to go to the Scorpion Queen. It'll be 600 to make the call. Our pot is up to 1,500.
As long as y'all correct me and we can get it solved, I'm good.
I think we've all been there.
We have a fold from the Scorpion Queen over to Waddle Away. He 2 folds, so there's a lot of pressure here on the Margarita Man, who missed the board, but has ace high. It'll be 300 to make the call. Wow, a ballsy call makes a big call of 300, so our pot's up to 1,800. Both players are playing their high card. A 5 of clubs on the board, so both players continue to miss. They're playing their high cards and praying to their deity of choice that no one has a jack, an 8, or now even a 5. We have a check from the Margarita Man. And both players slow down, checking the turn. So now, wow, that's amazing. So we have big raises to checks. They're either slowing down because they miss or slowing down to slow play. This is hard to gauge right now. These guys are all over the place. Interesting. We have a 2 of diamonds comes out, so we have a check from the Margarita Man. I think a bet takes this, but we have a check from American Dad. The ace high takes it. I think if American Dad keeps betting, he might get Margarita Man to fold. It's hard to say, obviously. But the ballsy call from Margarita Man on the flop kept him in that game and got him a pot. Well done, you two. That was not easy. We get back over to table B. Our blinds are at 75, 150. And let's see, our dealer is Amazing Spidey on the right end. Small blind is the Mother of Dragons. Big blind is the Scorpion King. First to act will be Jurassic Jordan, who makes the call, as does the Flash, who looks down at Pocket Kings. Over to the Gerhardt, the Austrian assassin, who has an ace 5. He makes the call. Fold from Lionel. Fold from Amazing Spidey. A call from the Mother of Dragons. This pot is getting big quickly. It is up to 750.
That's 75. Please.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, so we've got 5 players. Pots up to 750. The flop comes out 6 of spades, 3 of hearts, 2 of spades. So Christy is worrying about a potential spade draw, a potential straight draw, but she has the overcards with a pocket pair of kings. Let's see what we got here. We have a check from the Mother of Dragons, a check from the Scorpion King, a check from Jurassic Jordan. We have a bet here from Christy H, aka The Flash. She goes all in for 375. So she is short stacked at 375 with a super strong hand. Unfortunately, there's an ace behind her. And Gerhardt's got a lot of chips, so this is not enough to buy him off. He's going to make the call with the overcard, the straight draw, and the flush draw. Over to the Mother of Dragons. Like I said, it'll be 375 to make the call.
You're not in this hand, though, right? I'm not. You're selling it. Yeah, I'm just asking.
Yep.
Our pots up to 1,500. Be 375 to make the call.
No, it's not a check.
Be about 30% equity to make the call here.
No. Yeah. 102 to 70.
She does make, she folds, Mother Dragon folds over to the Scorpion King. Again, if you're less than 30% chance of getting this, he is looking at chips though. He is thinking about it. Of course, we don't know what he has here. He does make the fold over Jurassic Jordan. He too makes the fold, so we are down to 2 players. They're going to flip the cards over. Pocket kings with it against an ace high with a straight draw and a flush draw. So right now he's got 3 spades. He would need 2 spades on the turn and river. He would need, let's see, ace, 2, 3. He would need a 4 on any of the next 2 cards. So he needs 2 spades, a 4 or an ace to come get this.
I got all kinds of outs.
Deal it up, Mike.
He's got tons of outs, but he is well behind. 9 of hearts comes out, or 8 of hearts, pardon me, comes out. So now the spade draw is done. He's going to need a 4 or an ace. If she can dodge a 4 or an ace, she will double up.
Yeah.
Oh, the ace comes out on... Oh my gosh, the ace comes out on the river. River Donkey takes this one. The Austrian assassin uses a flash muzzle for a desperation shot on the river and sends Christy H off to the rail. Oh my gosh. So just to be clear here, the flash chose not to rebuy, so she's eliminated from the tournament. Unfortunately, she ran into a river ace by a river donkey, the Austrian assassin. He wins by the river or dies by the river, and this time he lives by the river. And Christy H is out of the tournament, and she will be on the rail. Move back over to table A. Our dealer is the Scorpion Queen on the top left corner. Small blind is Waddle Away. Big blind is Margarita Man. First to act will be Scott H. And it looks like he's going to, where am I? Scott H makes the call, as does the Doomslayer. And the Doomslayer is looking down at an ace 10 offsuit. So far, this is the lucky hand of the night, as ace 10 is 2-0 going into this. A fold from American Dad, a call from Patty DeVille with a 6-8 offsuit, a fold from Optimus, the Decepticon, over to the dealer, Alicia M, the Scorpion Queen. She has an ace king. Oh, a very strong hand. Is she going to raise here or just make the call? She raises, nice raise. She makes a raise of 500. So So we have a fold from our small blind. Fold from our big blind. Over the Doomslayer, who has an ace-10. Oh, sorry, we have a fold from Mr. 300. Now it's over the Doomslayer with his ace-10. I'm not sure the chip stack situation here. So with her being this aggressive, you have to put her on ace-king, ace-queen at worst, or then pocket tens, jacks, queens, or kings. So we have a call from the Doomslayer. Then we have a call from Patty DeVille. See, where are we at here? But she is short, so she puts in 250 or 400 total. She already had 150 in. She puts her last 250 in, so she is all in.
Y'all gotta send someone over. She does.
Don't start another hand.
No, where? Yeah.
All right, so we have an all in here from Patty DeVille at an offsuit 6-8. Our pot is up to 1775. They pull out the overages. Once again, Scott H, Mr. 300 is on top of it. So let's see what we got here real quick. So our main pot.
They're here to figure
Oh, sorry for that little stall there. Sorry. Okay, so the side pot's getting pulled over to the side. We have a side pot of 200. Here comes the flop. The flop is a 5 of clubs, 10 of spades, 8 of clubs. So we have 2 clubs on the board. So this is going to hurt both of our. So we have the Doomslayer who has the ace of clubs, while we have the Scorpion Queen with a king of clubs. Right now, though, a pair of tens is the best hand, as the Doomslayer caught his 10 to have top pair with top kicker.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
All right, so first act here will be the Doomslayer.
You're out? No, I want. Oh, you didn't pay. Thank you.
I mean, if you want to let it go for free, I'll be more than happy to accept this, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so the Doomslayer checks. Sorry, it's hard to hear or see. So the Doomslayer checks. Let me get this right real quick. I'm going to pause it while I catch up. Doomslayer checks. Then we have a bet of 800 from... Yeah, we have a bet of 800 from the Scorpion Queen. So the 800 to make the call. So he makes the call. So our side pot... Oh, geez, ace on the turn. So now Doomslayer for the second time has 2 pair aces and tens, but this makes the Scorpion Queen's hand better, as she has pair of aces with top kicker. She has to think she's in the lead. First act will be the Doomslayer. So it looks like the Doomslayer checks over the Scorpion Queen, who raises 1275. And the Doomslayer is going to make the call going all in. He is less than that, so he puts in 1075. So now we have 2 players all in. Patty DeVille is already all in, as she has a pair of 8s. We have Doomslayer, who is now all in with 2 pair ace and 10s. He just has to avoid a king. So the pot is, oh my gosh, this pot is a 5,525. The main pot is $15.75, and the side pot is $39.50. Oh my gosh.
Two-pair again.
I need an 8.
Six, she needs an eight.
All right, so all the cards can flip over. They see the ace king versus the ace 10. A 9 comes out, not the 8 that the Patty DeVille needed. So she is going to be eliminated. The 2-pair ace and 10s defeats the top pair of ace with a king kicker. Oh, what a hand. What a hand. What a pot. Over 5,000 in chips gets moved over to the Doomslayer. A huge pot for Stephen S. Wow.
Celebrating it like a champ.
All right, so we're going to move this back over to table B. And let me pause it real quick. So because the flash got eliminated, we were unbalanced on our table. So now in the top left, you see the Doomslayer button as he's moved from table A to table B. He gets all those chips and brings them over to a new table to dominate on another side of the room. So the Doomslayer is now on the top left of the table. Our blinds are still at 75, 150. Our dealer is the Scorpion King on the bottom left. Small blinds, Jurassic Jordan. Big blind is the Doomslayer. First to act will be the Austrian Assassin, who looks down at a Jack, Queen offsuit, Jack of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts. And he bets out 400. And with a pocket eights for Lino, he goes all in. See what we got here real quick. I'm catch myself. So we have a bet of 400 for a raise to 400 from the Austrian Assassin, and then a re-raise of all in for Lino, who has 950 total. So he puts in all of his chips, has 950 over to Amazing Spidey, who folds, as does the Mother of Dragons. Over to the Scorpion King will be 950 to play. He's thinking about it, but he does make the fold. Over to Jurassic Jordan, who's a small blind. He folds his small blind. Up to the Doomslayer, who's going to fold his big blind. So we have 2 players left. It'll be 450 or 550 to make the call from the Austrian Assassin. Again, he's got a ton of chips to play with, so he makes the call. Our pot is up to 21.25. They flip over, so we have a pair of 8s with against 2 overcards. He's going to have to dodge a Jack or a Queen. First card's a Jack. Jack 10-4. The pair of Jacks is ahead of an 8, so now he's going to need a lot of help. He's going to need... What's he going to need? He's going to need an 8 pretty much on the... yeah, he's going to need an 8. 10 comes out, does not get it. They both have 2 pair, Jacks and 10s versus 8s and 10s. 9 comes out, just missed. Man, that's two hands in a row where the player needed an 8, and a 9 comes out just to tease them. So the Assassin goes big game hunting to take out Lino. Now Lino must rebuy to stay alive. Snarf, snarf. Nice pot of 21.25 for the Austrian Assassin, and he is on a roll. Over to table A, our dealer is the top side of the table, top right. That is the Margarita Man. Small blind is Mr. 300. As you can see, the vacated spot from the Doomslayer. So big blind will be American Dad with the yin yang button on the bottom right. First to act will be Patty DeVille, and just to pause it again here, she rebought, so she has her secondary bounty disc of the Poker Princess. So Patty DeVille is now Patty the Poker Princess, and she is first to act. Lines are 75, 150, so it'll be 150 to call. So we've had 6 rebuys in this tournament, making the payout and prize pool go up by almost 70%. Or not that high. 40%. So we have a fold from the Poker Princess, fold from Optimus, fold from the Scorpion Queen, fold from Waddle Away, over to the dealer Margarita Man. Probably the price pool went up 40%. I'll get there. All right. So we have a call from Margarita Man. The change was made on the board there. And Mr. 300 had a suited 4-9 just playing for diamonds. Oh, and he goes mining. He goes diamond mining. He catches the mine of diamonds as the 5 of diamonds, Queen of diamonds, 10 of diamonds. Now the only thing he's worried about is someone else with 2 diamonds, or someone with a 1 diamond that's higher, a king of diamonds floating out there, or an ace of diamonds for any, or even a jack. He's got to worry about 3 diamonds that are higher than his own, but he's first to act, and he leads out going all in. Lost my place here. He goes all in for 450. Not that much, and we know the American Dad has tons of money. But he's looking, he has his queen, he has a pair of queens. So he's got top pair. Someone leading out in front of you, there's all diamonds. He makes the call, pots up to 1350 over to the Margarita Man. Those diamonds are too scary for him. He's going to get out. So we have 2 players in this hand. Mr. 300 is all in as he's already rebought. So if he loses here, he is out of this tournament. But he did flop a flush draw. He's going to be so happy to see the other players not have any diamonds. Pair of queens versus a flush. The turn comes out another diamond. He is so glad that he does not have any diamonds there. If he would have had a jack of diamonds, this would have been over. But a 6 of diamonds comes out, so another low diamond. But this gives American Dad 2 pair. This now gets him outs as he needs a queen or a 6 to overcome the flush. So he can get a full house still, but he needs a queen or a 6. And here comes the river, an ace of diamonds. So both players now have an ace high diamond. However, you got to run it down through the cards, and the 9 is the 4th highest diamond. So it makes the hand. So his 9 of diamonds makes a better flush than the next card of a 6 for American Dad. So we have a double up here from the Mr. 300, who would have been knocked out if he lost his hand, but he didn't. Wins a modest pot of 1350. He is going to survive, and he is going to stay in this tournament. Got a little dicey with the 2 pair showing up there. All right, we are now over to table B. Blinds are still at 75, 150. Our dealer is Jurassic Jordan on the left end of the table. Small blind is the Doomslayer. Big blind is the Austrian Assassin. First to act will be Lionel, who has his secondary bounty disc of Pink Floyd's The Wall. So Lionel is now The Wall. That is still Reggie O, though, on the top right corner. Oh, we have a bottle catch from Gerhardt on the top side as he hit the bottle, but caught the bottle before it hit the ground. Nice job. All right, so over to the wall here. Reggie O's turn. We 150 to make the call. He does make the call over to Amazing Spidey. Amazing Spidey folds over the Mother Dragons, who also folds over to the Scorpion King. With an ace of spades, we can't see his other card, but he's going to make the call at 150. A fold from the Jurassic Jordan, the dealer, over to our small blind, the Doomslayer. Doomslayer fills up his small blind. We have a check from our big blind, the Austrian Assassin, who has a 3-8 offsuit, 8 of clubs, 3 of spades. So we have 4 players going to the flop. Pots at 600. 10, 8, 7. So Gerhardt, the Austrian Assassin, gets middle pair of 8s. There are 2 spades out there, which helps out the potential flush draw for the Scorpion King and all middle cards otherwise. So we have draws out there. 9, Jack gets a straight. 9, 6 gets a straight. So let's see what we got, how these guys play. First act here will be the Doomslayer, who checks it. A check from the Austrian Assassin. They check it around. An 8 comes out on the turn. So now the Austrian Assassin has a set of 8s. Our flush draw is, well, I don't know what this other card is for the Scorpion King, but it makes this flush draw less likely as there's not another spade out there. First act will be the Doomslayer. Doomslayer checks over to the Austrian Assassin. Oh, he checks again with a set of 8s. Very sneaky, Gerhardt. Very sneaky. Over to Lionel, a.k.a. The Wall. He also checks over to the Scorpion King, who bets 575, a big bet. He's got to have another spade in there. Why is he betting so high? Maybe he's got a 10.
rebuy if you go out on this
He's
hand.
either got a 10 or a spade, so he's got a bet of 575, a fold from the Doomslayer, and a nice call here from Austrian Assassin, who checked around and let the other players bet, and he's going to get in this one. Over to Lionel will be 575 to make the call. Our pot is up to 1750. We have a fold. No one's all in, so we're still alive here. Live betting, I mean. Here comes the river. We have an ace of diamonds. That gives the Scorpion King a pair of aces. That is a dangerous card. I'm guessing he's looking for spades, but that's going to make it. Oh, he might lose money here. Let's see what happens here. First to act will be Gerhard, the Austrian Assassin, who has a set of eights. He's been slow playing it this whole time. He checks again. Oh, the Scorpion King does well to check here and finds out that he misses. Oh, what a check by the Scorpion King. That'd be easy to make a stab at it. Wow. Nice job. Nice self-control. A pot of 1750, however, does go to the Austrian Assassin. What great discipline there by the Scorpion King to hold off and not lose any more chips to the Austrian Assassin. All right, guys, so we are now down to 14 players, as we did have one elimination. And so right now on table A, we have Patty K, now aka the Poker Princess, Patty the Poker Princess. In seat 2, we have Thomas S, the Decepticon. And seat 3 on table A, we have the Scorpion Queen, Alicia M. In seat 4, we have Nikki B, aka Waddle Away. In seat 5, we have Gary K, aka the Margarita Man. In seat 6, we have Scott H, Mr. 300. And in seat 7, we have American Dad with the hearts and diamonds yin yang bounty disc. Now let's take a look over at table B. Who's remaining? In seat 1, we have Chris M, the Scorpion King. In seat 2, we have Jordan R, Jurassic Jordan. In seat 3, we have Stephen S, the Doom Slayer, who moved over from table A. In seat 4, we have the Austrian Assassin, Gerhard W. And in seat 5, we have Reggie O, the Wall. In seat 6, we have Amazing Spidey. And in seat 7, we have the Mother of Dragons. All right, guys. So the theme so far for this tournament is rebuy, rebuy, rebuy. We had 6 rebuys. That means that our total chips are now up to 34,500. The Bad Beat jackpot is increased to $81, and the prize pool is up to $420. So now first place would take home $210. Second place can get $126, and third place could take $84. So we had the Mother of Dragons, American Dad, Mr. 300, Optimus, Patty DeVille, and Lion-O all had to rebuy during the rebuy window. That rebuy window is now closed, so there are no more rebuys for the duration of this tournament. Unfortunately, however, we did have one elimination as Katie H, the Flash, decided, Christy H, rather, the Flash decided not to rebuy, so she is eliminated. So we finish up part 1 with 14 players left. And so join us for part 2. That'll be coming up soon to follow along the progress of Wingman Poker Tournament number 3 of the 2024 season. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank you for understanding the delays. So with all that said, may your cards be live, your pocket aces hold, and we will see you next time.
Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.